Hello everyone, my name is Sheen and welcome back to my channel. Today we are Into the Unknown, which now has a logo. And yeah, for this episode it's gonna be a little bit different than the other ones because I am re-recording the audio because I somehow deleted the first one, so I only have the I have only the video file but not the audio, so yeah. But today we're building a new habitat for the Formosan black bear. Here you can see him just sitting there all alone. And yeah, we will make a new habitat for Guang. Because of all the trash on the pass, I decided to employ a few more zookeepers in the hopes that they will get rid of all the trash on the pass. And after making sure that all the animals that were in the zoo are actually still in the zoo, like I needed to rebuy a few because they died already, I started to figure out where I want the new Formosan black bear habitat to be, and I decided it's gonna be next to the Siberian tigers, where the old giraffe habitat is? Let's say was, because I'm currently deleting it. So yeah, that was and is still the plan, and honestly it felt so good to get rid of this awful brick habitat. Like, can we even call that a habitat? Like, for real, it's more like a brick prison. I think that's more appropriate here. So yeah, I also deleted, of course, all the berries that I had because I wanted to like start from the ground again, and also deleted a bit of the paths just so I have a clean slate to build on. And with that, we are starting the official start of the speed build. That's not a sentence whatsoever, but hey, whatever. So I was thinking I wanted to have a bit of a hill going on with that habitat, like just a slight little hill, like nothing too fancy. And on the right side of the habitat, I wanted you to be able to see into the den of the Formosan black bear. So that's why I already started with making a little round path. Since I don't know what's gonna be going on with the caiman habitat in the little tropical house that I had, I decided to go over the barriers for the caimans instead of joining these two habitats, because in my opinion, like in my experience, it's so much hassle if the barriers are like connected and then sometimes one habitat is invalid and you don't know why or how, what's happening. So I just made it easier for myself to, at some point, if it comes to that, delete the caiman habitat without having to go back and fix the habitat barrier for the Formosan black bears. And speaking of barrier, I also decided again, just like with the Siberian tigers and the giraffes, I wanted to go for a natural or kinda natural barrier that is made out of stones and the twilight stalagmites. Still don't know which ones these are, like what they are called in game, but I mean you see what I'm doing here. And then I realized they need water. They somewhere needs to be a water source. Why do I feel like I'm saying sauce, like the thing that you like make on top of your food, instead of source, like water source, where the water comes from? I don't know. Okay, so anyway. Here we have the finished rock project. Like I think that is, except for the den that I didn't make at this stage, but that's all the rocks that I put in there. And for the den, I tried to make like an octagonal or like same thing like with the 10 corners thingy, but I don't know what that would be in English. And I can tell you right now, it looks horrendous. Like really, it really does. I built it, I hated it, but I didn't know what else to do, so I stuck with it, which was arguably not a good idea, because why am I making stuff that I don't like and not change them? I don't know, guys. I don't know. So it's been some while, and with a while I mean a few months since I last touched this zoo, because I was just not feeling this this chunk of rocks. So I really think it's an abomination, more or less. And yeah, I didn't know how to fix this, so I just left it until now, because I think it was last week, something like that, I made another habitat, and as my inspiration I heavily used the little entrance to the North American area in my local zoo, which is, like, you can see it right here. I forgot the English word for it, but I thought I could do the same thing here and like just do a little entrance to a mine. Is it a mine? I think it is. So that the entrance would look a bit nicer, and also I will not make it round, because that wouldn't make sense if it's in a mine. I'll make it square. Yeah, perfect. I'll make it like this, and I think with this it should look a little bit better, and at least I hope so. And I can make or finish this habitat then with that little change in appearance. And here you can see me doing a little more adjustments to actually fit this into a mining entrance. I think it's a mining entrance, and I think I already was babbling on about that. I don't know what it's actually called, so I'm sorry if this is like something that you will hear twice. But yeah, how did I make this little entrance? I just stacked top blocks on top of each other and then rotated them so that I have like 3 walls, like 2 walls and like the ceiling, and then it was just a matter of copying it in the shape that I wanted. In my case, that was like first 2 of these log thingies behind each other, and then I wanted to have like a bigger one, like a bigger entrance area or like area for the viewing area. So for this I just copied it 4 times next to each other and placed it back inside there. I angled it so that it would make sense with how I put the passing down, and after that it was again a lot of deleting, but also a lot of copying the logs, especially for the ceiling, because you know, normally you can see these wooden ceiling beam thingies all around the mine, so I wanted to replicate that. And also I needed to make a viewing area, so I deleted a few of the rocks and replaced them with a glass barrier. And last thing I did before we can call this done is I made sure that it looks a little bit like an old mine with like rocks falling through the logs and like basically everywhere. Okay, Okay, so now let's take a quick look at the almost finished inside. I think it's looking 100% better than how it was before. I might make a few more changes, like a few more stones into... Oh, I forgot a wall. Well. Okay, good. It's good that I showed you this, because I think otherwise I maybe wouldn't have noticed until far later. So yeah, I'm gonna make a wall there, and I think I also want to have more stones peeking through here to the sides. So for this, I'm just gonna use like the big flat ones and align them to surface and put them something like this. And we're gonna do this again on the other side, and because it's like not completely diagonal, no, horizontal. I think it's because it's not 100% horizontal, it's like same stone but like different angles, so it's giving a different look. And on which, okay, and now let's just copy this quickly over enable angles now, and voila. Yes, still think I need to remove that one, and this one needs to go in the middle. Oh wait, no, why are there two? I think that's why that's happening, because I copied them all over again and again. So yeah, but okay, now it's better. Okay, yeah, so inside nearly done, and if we go outside it's looking a bit sad, because at the moment it's not the beginning of a mine, it's just a wooden something corridor. So we're gonna work now on the exterior, starting with the rocks. So we want to cover all of it in rocks, starting with here. And for this, I also don't really care if it's like also going inside of the little mining shaft. Is it called a mining shaft? I think I just realized what it's called, but I'm not sure. You tell me. The only thing that I am making sure of is that it's not like too much showing inside, because then it would look like a bit too much. And we are not worrying about like little creaks that we are unintentionally or intentionally leaving. And we're doing the same thing on this side with these rocks. And because they look totally different, honestly, I don't know if I like that it's looking so different, but I think it's a good way to like get from the kind of natural stones to the Siberian tiger fake stones, so I leave it like that. I mean, we all know it's not a whale mining shaft entrance in a way, so whatever. And now I need to start with plants, and for this I'm gonna see what my color palette? No, my plant palette is gonna be. Okay, it was pretty easy to decide the plant palette because I already put the plant palette for the Siberian tigers next to the habitat, and I think for continuity's sake we're just gonna use these ones as well. And what I will do now is I will start with the biggest one. I think in this case it's either the bramble, bracken, or the white sage. Let's go with the bracken. And I will put it everywhere. We can also like change the variation of which one I'm using up a bit. And we are just putting it in the little creeks we see. I'm making sure that I'm not going in too much, because otherwise we will have the plant showing up on the inside, which is not generally what we want. We just want it to be covered on the outside, not on the inside. This is especially important on these bits here, because it looks a bit weird if you have them poking through. Okay, and then we're just changing through all the plants until all of it is covered. And here we are at the finished result for now. I don't know if I want to put more plants on it, maybe some trees, but I will see about that after I finish the rest of the habitat. And honestly, you don't know how glad I am that I at least have this viewing area done, or like nearly done, because I'm realizing that you can see the glass through the logs. That is not how it's supposed to be, so like I said, nearly done. Ah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I can see plants in here. See, it's a good thing that I show you this like this, because now I get to see what I need to fix. Like, that's just brilliant. And I'm not like seeing it in the cinematic shots or something, because I see it now. So I had like this idea that the bears will go into like a makeshift entrance. Like, it's not a real one, they just like kind of made it one. They found it and they just like scavenged through. I don't know what they do, but like they broke it and they made it that there is an entrance. I don't know how realistic this is, but anyway. Yeah, I think now I can go back to my favorite place and plan to do, which is the planting. And for now, I think I will just plant all these stuff again, but this time in this version. Oh, and also, oh my god, I forgot. Where did I want to put the water? Like, did I want to put it here? I mean, it would make sense. Can these bears swim? Okay, I mean, even if they can, I think this should not be an issue if we put like a fence in here. Okay, I hope this is where I wanted the water to go, because I don't know where else to put it. So yeah, now let's get to planting. For the plants, I really did nothing fancy. Like, you saw me already use most of these plants before when I was covering the little rock hill that I made. And yeah, I basically did the same, took all the plants that I had on there to like match it up, and just placed a lot of them, including buffalo grass and Yorkshire grass. Okay, so the first round of planting is done, and now I'm thinking that I want to, like, first of all, I want to incorporate bamboo in here, because, I have a line to surface on, because it's an Asian bear, and they are actually also living in the temperate area, so this just tells me they would know bamboo, they would know what it is, and yeah, so I feel justified putting it in here. And the other thing that I want to incorporate is a bit, like, I want to build a bit more walls, because I think as of now the bears don't really have like an area all to themselves, so I think they kind of need that, or I will provide them with it anyway if they don't want it. And I think I'm gonna do it the easy way, and I will just copy this part without that one. And I will just put it, let's say here, like here. I hope they can like go over that, but we'll see about that later. And now they have at least like this little area for themselves. They don't need to worry about guests that can see them. And we can also do that again like here. So maybe here. I mean, that already looks like pretty natural anyway. Well, not supernatural, but like, you know what I mean. And we're gonna make it a bit more natural this way. See, it's already looking better. So yeah, I think that is like the way to go here. And also I wanted to give them a few trees. And I think I also need to let the climbing bee still be disabled, because they need climbing structures apparently, which I did forget, so this is also something I need to do. And I will do that. And I think this part here will be perfect, because it's like far away from the guests, and therefore it wouldn't be like that easy for the bears to get out and like hurt the guests. So my thinking is, if I build it like here around this way, I would either need to make the habitat barrier pretty high or make it climb proof. And like, I think I would need to make it climb proof either way maybe, but I think it would be more needed to be climb proof if I would make the climbing structures here. So that's why I will make them here, and I will not do that in like a real-time part, because I hate building them and you don't want to hear me saying bad words, so you will just get a time lapse of it. And the time lapse is actually much shorter than I anticipated it to be, but maybe that's also because it's not the biggest and most complex climbing structure that you ever saw. It's literally just a ladder to a little platform with a roof. So that's all I did for the climbing structures. But to be fair, most of the times when I am in a zoo and I see a bear enclosure, like apart from polar bears, like bears who actually climb, it's like not, the focus is never on the actual climbing structures. So I think I can get away with this, and I will, because I want to build something more elaborate than that. And you know, I already have 3 monkey species, or like ape species, like climbing animals in here. Like, I do need to still build for the lemurs, the gorillas, and the bonobos, or the chimpanzees. I forgot which one is actually in the zoo, but let's just keep my nice climbing frames like in the background for them, so that I actually want to do them. But yeah, you saw me, it's just an easy... You saw me? No, you didn't. You saw me build the climbing structure, nothing elaborate here. And now we're on to the last thing that I needed to do before I could call this habitat done, and that's the barriers. And this time it's a bit weird for me, because usually the barriers are something that I tend to do before I do the stones and the plants and climbing structures, like stuff like that is always the last thing, because normally the first thing is the barriers. Like, I mean, I started it with the rock barriers in the beginning, but then I just kinda stopped and did something else from the habitat that's not the rest of the barriers, so kinda weird, but whatever. I decided for the first part of the viewing area to just go with the little fence, and for the rest of the habitat area I decided I want to reuse my viewing windows that I made for the mine, and I made it a little easy for myself here, I'm not gonna lie, but also this is, in my opinion, the best thing that you can do to make your zoo seem more cohesive. Like, it's things like using the same barriers that you made, or same stones, same plant selection. These things will make your zoo look way more cohesive and therefore better, in my opinion. So yeah, I just reused them, and to make it look a bit more Asian, I put the Asian walls in there. Last thing to do now is get our little Formosan black bear inside their habitat now, and I will do that, and after that we will take a closer look at what I've built. Here he is. Because it's been so long since I actually built in this zoo, I know there was like something going on with like the female dying bones. I don't know. I don't even know if you remember, because as you can hear, I don't. So we will just buy him a little mate. Because he shouldn't be alone. So, Formosan black bear. There we go. And while she's being delivered, we take a look at what I've built. So, like with all of these builds right now, we are going to ignore like the surroundings, because I'm not sure what will build there, so of course I don't know yet, so we just leave it empty for now. Shouldn't there be a bear? Like, right there. Come on. Where are you? Also, I think it's interesting how loud it is where I am, even though all the people are like on the other side of the enclosure, so that's also kind of interesting. Except for them. Like, where are you? Come on. I'm just gonna speed up until they... Oh, there they are! I thought someone was already in there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna speed it up now, and would cut it out, like, the waiting for them. But here they are. They arrived, like, almost at the same time. I remember, like, this part, like, with the little lake and the stones, that is part of, like, a real enclosure. I really hope you can't go outside and that's why you are like both diving in here. I really hope so. I don't think they can, but who knows. But yeah, we have two swimming Formosan black bears. I mean, you do you, I guess, but I didn't know that they are like so prone to swimming. So yeah, but this was like, the inspiration for this was like some other enclosure in a real zoo, but I forgot which zoo. So yeah, leaving them to swim. We have like a few other viewing windows. I think there are like a bit too many, but also I wanted the guests to be able to see like most of the enclosure, and that wouldn't be possible if I just put barriers everywhere. So yeah, we ended up with like a few barriers, and I just realized I forgot the enrichment items. Why am I doing this always? I will do that after the recording, and like the first you will see in the next recording is them having enrichment items. I hope so. I really hope so. But yeah, this is like the outside, like let's say the outside of the enclosure. I did not do any climbing structures, preventing them from climbing structures up here. I'm not into that much realism at the moment. Like, I think that's like really a day-to-day like discussion for me, but like today I didn't feel like it, so I didn't do it. And then we have like this beautiful, at least now, looking more natural little hill, and then like you already saw. Someone escaped. I hope it's not a Formosan black bear. Yeah, you already have seen this, the inside, and I am anxious who's outside of their enclosure. Dangerous fighting due to incorrect sex. Okay, okay, who's got out? Okay, it's not the two Formosan black bears. Pause. Look into the animals. The Siberian tiger. What? The Siberian tiger habitat is here. How did you get there? Oh, okay. I think I remember what's. So I bought her, like she's new resident, so to speak, for the zoo. And like you can see, I did like a little bit of passing here, and for this I deleted the pass that connects to the cheaper store, so I think that's why it says she's escaped, even though she's not escaped. So I think she never made it to her actual enclosure. But with that, and with like Polina getting pulled back into her, or like get brought to her actual enclosure, I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up. For next episode, like of course first showing you the enrichment items, but after that I'm not sure if I want to do a snow leopard habitat or a western gorilla habitat, since like we already have the notification that something's wrong with them. So we need to check that out, and yeah, I would say I would leave the decision up to you, and I will make like a poll on my channel, and yeah, whatever wins, I will vote first. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope we will see each other in the next one. Bye!